The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah!
Go Cowboys!
Let's go, baby!
Are you ready for a break?
Yes.
Are you ready for a break?
Absolutely.
Ready for a break?
Yeah, and so much for that.
It's time for The Break on DallasCowboys.com.
We were on the break!
With Ambar Garcia, Bryan Broaddus, Voch Lombardi, and Derek Eagleton.
It is Tuesday, November 11th, 2025, season 21, episode number 74. Welcome to the latest edition of The Break. We are live from the SWBC Mortgage Studios at the Star. We're presented by LG. LG is the world's #1 OLED TV brand for 11 years and counting. See why at lg.com/OLED Evo. Welcome to the show. We got a few things we're going to get into today. We have a bonus day this week because there is no because we had an extra day coming off the bye. So we'll do some big picture stuff today. We're going to start by talking about the NFC, where the Cowboys sit in the NFC, and what they need to do if they're going to make any sort of run to make this season a playoff type season. And then a little later in the show, we'll get into a little bit of self-scouting. We'll look at some of the things that this team has done over the first half of the season and talk about areas where we think they have to improve and what that should look like if they're going to make those improvements. Let's start first, though, in the NFC.
Can I just say something?
Sure, absolutely.
I was watching Green Bay and Philly a little bit last night.
Did you fall asleep?
I couldn't watch the whole bunch because YouTube TV don't have ESPN, but I did find a way to bootleg. So I was watching.
You do realize that's national.
I don't know.
People listening.
I'm playing.
All right, good.
I ain't serious. They know I'm the joke.
Good. I want to make sure you just
But
joke.
Bryan, what's your name? Derek Eagleton. I was so upset.
I ain't Bryan.
Derek, I was looking.
Right, that'll be Bryan Broaddus.
I work with Bryan. Derek Eagleton. I was so upset at the low-scoring game. Not from a standpoint of like a boring game or something like that, but I was watching and I was like, you know what? These are two offenses that people tend to respect, and their defense are buying them time. They're buying time for the other side. And I just started hating. I was like, man, what if, boy? And I don't want to say nothing because they probably over there on the other side upstairs listening to it, boy. But I was like, man, how fire would it be if all our guys came back over, showing them all the new additions, you know what I'm saying, Quentin Williams and the boys, and Flus just figures something out. And we in a situation where the Eagles got 10 points on us in the fourth quarter. You know what I mean? I would go to jail, Derek. I would go to jail. But I know that ain't the case.
Do you think that's the kind of jump this defense can make? Because I do think this defense can be better. And what I heard from pretty much everybody on this show was you don't need a great defense. You need at least an average defense.
They played some really good defense yesterday, and I think their offensive inconsistencies kind of showed throughout the night or whatever.
Now, Green Bay has been inconsistent offensively most
all
of the
year, all year,
and lost their best player with Tucker.
But they gonna get passes because they won games, though. They gonna get passes because they won games. If the Cowboys, in which I think they are ridiculously good on offense, you don't have to be knockout, shut down defense like that. You know what I'm saying? Just, hey, can we not have 20-something points on us in the third quarter? 24-7 in the third quarter. Give the Cowboys offense time to like figure things out and maybe make an adjustment. I thought about something the other day. I wonder how many offensive adjustments have we been able to make this year that like mattered, because you're always so behind in a lot of these games. You don't even get an opportunity to say, all right, guys, we're going to do this different. We're going to keep running the ball here, there, and then we're going to try to do this and try to make up for it. Yeah. You don't have that luxury because it's a damn track meet now. Mm-hmm. So I saw that game last night and I got jealous, and they're both conference opponents, and it makes me sick. You lost to both of them. Well, you lost one. You tied up.
Yep. Bryan, you got something to say over there.
No, I mean, I was just sitting there thinking, I don't know if you're great on offense anymore.
Well, Bryan, relax.
And that's, and to me, that's, when you start to talk about a team, or maybe a defense that, is, maybe it has to be a little bit better than what you thought. But I think there's some elements to, we saw some things offensively. The last couple of weeks, this offense has had its struggles. Whether it's playing the odd man fronts, the 3-4 fronts, whether they've had to, your quarterback has done a great job of avoiding pressures. Maybe the pressures have been there all year. Every time we come in here on a Monday, we break down the film, we talk to you and we say, well, what a great job by Prescott avoiding the pressures. And then we look at the pressure numbers when the metrics come out, and it's That guy had 5. This guy had 4. This guy had 3. Oh, wait, your best player had 3, and your right tackle had 5. I mean, your quarterback has done a great job of avoiding pressure and making plays. That's the thing now I'm a little bit worried about, though, with your offensive line. The thing, though, that with the quarterback's ability to avoid the pressure, does that put even more pressure now on the defense? Because maybe you're not going to score 30, 40 points a game. Maybe it's going to be a little bit more of the offense is going to have those struggles. So I wonder, I think you're going to have to. I think you're going to have to. They're going to make a big swing at it in this Raiders game. And there's a couple of ways this thing can go. It could be locked down and playing well and everybody on the same page, or it could be like 5 new guys out there acting like they've never played together. And that's the thing that I kind of look at right now. It's like, which one of the defenses is going to show up? I don't think you're going to need a defense. If the offense is going to play the way it currently is, you're going to need a little bit more from your defense. And, that might be asking a lot, but they're going to take a big swing at it here up against the Raiders this week.
Well, Bryan, I don't want to fuss. Amber, I'm sorry. Because Bryan about to make me fuss. Bryan, we just can't the day before talk about how great Pickens and Williams, and we argue about how great these guys are. We talk about Lamb and how great 4 is, and then come in here the next day. We ain't going to fight. And then just come here the next day and be like, well, I don't think y'all – because all the great –
The offensive line has not played well.
They haven't.
You cannot see the last couple of weeks. They have not played well offensively the last 2 weeks.
That's true.
They haven't. And look what Arizona did the other day in their game.
What do they do the best? What does the Cowboys offensive line do the best?
Well, run block.
So you get taken out of that, right? So I have a feeling that my offensive line would be much better if they get to hit you first and then kind of pass block sometimes, right, Bryan? But if it's a situation where,
I'm just saying this defense has to play better.
That's facts.
You're asking it to be the 29th best defense. I don't think that's going to be good enough. Not the way the offense is currently playing. It's not.
But my only gripe is,
and I have no problems. I think we talk about Pickens, we talk about Lamb, we talk about Williams, we talk about all these guys. Exactly. And we've kind of known the offense is going to have to carry this thing. Mm-hmm. They're going to have to carry this thing. But to me, like I'm saying, I think the defense is going to – I want this defense to get 2 more stops a game and see what happens. But if I'm getting 2 more stops a game, I don't need you getting inside the 5-yard line a couple of different times and not scoring.
You're not wrong. But at this part of the season, and we're not fighting, at this part of the season, everything's starting to kind of get figured out just a little bit more. Even the best offense in the league. The Colts have had bad days. The Bills have had bad days. Like, pick an offense. The Eagles, Green Bay, they've all had bad days. All I'm saying is for my beloved Dallas Cowboys is when they do have a bad – and look, the Cardinals are terrible on defense, for real, and the Broncos are fantastic, amazing on defense. But in the event that the Cowboys run into a defense that'll give them trouble, I just don't need the defense to give up 25 points at the half because I do think that this offense is fantastic.
You're about to run through
You're
about to run through a gauntlet of teams, the Philadelphias, the Kansas Cities, and Detroit. And you're going to see you're going to see what your offense really, really is all about.
I can make an argument that you've seen the scariest defenses that you could possibly see right now. I think
in Denver? I think in Denver, absolutely.
I think Denver's defense is so different than the rest of those guys.
How about the Bears?
I think you got that's
how about Carolina?
Hey, that's fumbles.
How about Arizona?
That's fumbles and game flow. You ain't wrong, but that's fumbles.
I'm just saying though, you've got to. I mean, if you're going to really, if you're going to ask the defense, if you're going to ask this defense, and like I say, I am with you guys on this, but to me, it has got to be. You've got to be. Dak Prescott can't have a game where all of a sudden quick pressure affects him. Sure. And that's what happened in the Arizona game against a defense that doesn't rush the passer all that well. You've got issues at right tackle. You've got some major issues at right tackle.
Amber, I'm so sorry, Lewis. I'm sorry. Amber, never mind. I'm sorry. What you about to say before me and Bryan started fussing or not fighting?
I agree with Bryan, though. If it matters at all, I agree with what Bryan is saying.
I didn't ask. I just said what you had to say. I just said what you had to say. I didn't ask you agree.
Okay, so I was gonna say.
Speak loud, just please.
Because you keep mumbling, so I gotta raise it up a notch to see if I overtake.
Just make a point.
When you initially posed the question, Derek, my initial thought.
What was the question? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I think Voch posed the question.
I'm so lost, but go ahead.
Something about the defense now and having hope in the second half of the season. I don't even know. But my initial thought was being optimistic about, okay, the trades that you made, the people that you're getting back on the defensive side of the ball, then hopefully getting a more solidified offensive line as they continue to play together, hopefully just create some kind of continuity there. But then I'm like, okay, you know what? Let me pull up the standings real quick. Because one thing is to think about it. Another thing is to see it.
Sure.
I pulled it up. That optimism faded away very quickly because, again, not that I didn't know the record, but then when you see it visually, you're like, oh my God. Out of 9 games, the Cowboys have won 3, tied 1. And you're like, okay, it's not looking great. I think the team, they're going to improve. I think the defense is going to definitely show some improvement, but it might end up being a little too late of the timing of the season. And I think that's the problem. We're going to potentially head it towards the end of the season, seeing some really good things about this team and having hope of like, okay, well, now you got this crew and then let's give it another year. But that's where I feel like it's at. It might be a little too late for it.
Well, that is the question that we're going to get into in the second segment. I actually have that ready for us to go. We'll do that when we come back. Real quick, though, I want to say, just for the record, I actually agree with Voch on this one.
Does anybody know who Fred Johnson is?
Fred Johnson's Fred.
Does anybody know who the hell Fred Johnson is?
Tackle, right?
He played right tackle for the Eagles last night because Lane Johnson got hurt.
Oh, that guy.
And the Eagles still scored their goofy little 10 points.
He's been the jumbo tackle for them.
The Eagles still scored their goofy little 10 points, and their defense kept them in the game. That's all I'm saying.
But I think the point that I would make out of that I agree with is I think this offensive line has been a problem, especially at right tackle for a long time this season. I think the difference is, number one, Dak has been able to mitigate the pressure. But I also think it's a situation where when Dallas gets into a situation where the other team sprints out and Dallas doesn't have that quick start and they fall behind, they lose that part of their game, which is their running game. We've even talked about it the last couple of weeks when the offense was pretty good.
They've run the ball and still lost.
Yeah, no.
They have.
But my point is
they've lost games.
But they've had to abandon the run, Brian. They don't run as much when they get into those games. We talked about it after that last game. We talked about how they were running the ball well. They had to get away from it because the game got away from them. That's my point. Is this team is
ran
not
it well
going to
against Denver? I mean, they've
exactly. But they had to get away from it. That's my point. And when this team is balanced, they can afford to mitigate.
But you know how bad your defense
of that right tackle.
You know how bad your defense is.
Yes.
So you're never going to have that advantage.
Okay. And again,
so then maybe you have to be better on. Even have to be better on offense.
Well, that's the biggest problem that we've talked about again all this season, which is you basically are forcing your offense to be perfect every game, and that's just
you've known that since week 3.
You're not going to be perfect every week.
Then what are you saying?
Then what I'm saying is the defense is going to have to be better, not great. That's where I started with this. The defense has to be middle of the road. If they can get to be middle of the road, if they can get you that extra,
you're
which
10
I agree
weeks
with
in. Do you think they're going to get middle of the road?
They got the best defensive tackle in the league. Maybe that gets them a little bit better. I don't know how much better, but maybe gets them a little bit better.
That's your hope. That is your hope.
That's their hope.
That's
their hope. Is that this guy will get them to at least being an average defense. And if you can get them to being an average defense, now you can create some of that balance. And in getting that balance, it allows
that's your hope, though. But you've got 5 guys coming in. How many of them haven't even played a snap this year?
Fair.
That's the thing that I think that we're calling for hopium and like, oh, they're bringing all these. My hope too. I'm the guy. I'm the same guy that says, oh, you need to do something different at right tackle, and then you put the right tackle in there and he plays like ass. You know what I'm saying? So to me, I feel like that you need to find a way here to like maybe the defense. Yeah, you're taking a big swing at it, but we don't know. We don't know. This defense could be, but you know what? The one thing we know is this offense can be special in the league.
Sure can.
And at times it has.
Yeah.
The last couple of weeks it hasn't been. It hasn't carried this defense. But it's supposed to have carried this defense all year. We've talked about that. That's all my point is.
No,
we all knew that wasn't realistic though. You can't carry a defense the whole season, so you do need the defense to carry some weight. I'm saying with these new additions, even if Overshown hadn't played a game, all season. I still think he gives you so much more than what you had. Quentin Williams gives you so much more than what you had. Please, Amber.
This is my thing.
The best in the league of what you had.
Hey, calm down.
We're not fighting.
No, we're not screaming here, okay?
We're about to take a break.
Quick question for you guys. Yeah, at this point.
I just relit that match. Like,
Good
light
job,
it up.
Derek.
I'm sorry.
Good job,
Amber,
Derek.
please. Lo siento, please.
I was going to ask, if I may, Voch, I was going to ask, looking at the opponents that you have in the lineup coming up next, does that allow you to really get your defense to kind of come together? Because I feel like based on the opponents that you have, you're in survival mode right now. You're just so sometimes depending on some opponents, you can, I don't even know how to phrase it right.
Get right,
but like
you're playing the Cowboys, you can.
Make sure everybody's like.
now that we all agree.
The Raiders is your last warm-up type game.
Yeah.
And then you got Giants the rest of the way.
Well, not the rest of the way.
Well,
you got
the
Giants
next
Giants
for the next 5 weeks.
Stretch.
5 weeks.
Yeah,
For
for
the
the
good
next 5
stretch.
weeks.
That's a
yeah.
hell of a stretch, yeah.
Yeah. All right, we're going to take our first break. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about that because I do think that's an interesting topic. We'll be back. DallasCowboys.com radio.
If you can't be at the stadium, there's no better way to watch your Cowboys than on an LG OLED Evo TV. That's because everything you see is more lifelike. Every play, every hit. I mean, you might as well be on the sidelines. That's how clear it is. It's all thanks to LG's legendary technology. Perfect black, over 8.3 million self-lit pixels. No one comes close. LG OLED Evo is the best TV in the game for a reason. See for yourself at lg.com/OLED Evo.
Hey y'all, Matt Pittman here, the official pitmaster of the Dallas Cowboys. This holiday season, I've got Yeti's new insulated bowls and food storage working overtime. The insulated bowls are amazing. It'll keep queso warm or guacamole fresh. And the food storage containers protect my ingredients and help me stay organized. They also make great gifts for the host, making Yeti bowls and food storage MVPs for the holidays. Get yours at Yeti.com or a Yeti store near you.
I'm home. Hey, Mom, before you ask, I've done my homework and the dishwasher's unloaded.
Nice. Hey, can you... Hey, hon, yes, I've got the finale ready to play. Here's your wine.
Wow. Isn't it nice not having to ask? We think so. That's why if there's a network interruption, AT&T will proactively credit you for a full day of service, guaranteed. Credit for fiber downtime lasting 20 minutes or more, or for wireless downtime lasting 60 minutes or more caused by a single incident impacting 10 or more towers. Restrictions and exclusions apply. See att.com/guarantee for details.
Cowboys fans, here's the game plan. Touchdown Tuesday at Take 5 Oil Change. Just wear your Cowboys gear and save 25% on your oil change. No huddle, no overtime. Just drive in, stay in your car, and roll out. You'll be tailgate ready in 10 minutes flat. Keeping up with your car shouldn't be a tough call. Take 5 makes it as easy as calling the coin toss. Take 5 is the official oil change of the Dallas Cowboys. Visit take5.com to find a location near you. Offer valid through December 31st, 2025. Terms and conditions apply. Valid only at participating locations.
If you shout, "How about them Cowboys?" you have that undeniable passion that's the heart of Cowboys Nation. And if you like to drink Dr. Pepper, you love the unique blend of its 23 flavors. Together, your one-of-a-kind fandom paired with the one-of-a-kind taste of a delicious ice-cold Dr. Pepper is the game day lineup that can't be beat. Better yet, gather your Cowboys and Dr. Pepper fan friends to watch the next game and crack open a delicious ice-cold Dr. Pepper for everyone. The wins will be even tastier. It's a pepper thing.
Back to the break.
Choose perfection. Choose LG OLED Evo. Check out the best TV in the game at LG.com.
Welcome back. We're in the second segment of the break live from the SWBC Mortgage
We won't
Studios.
shut up even in the break.
This segment is brought to you by blockchain.com.
We were saying over the break, we were just talking about the teams, and everybody said something crazy. But I feel like if your
Can I set this up first before you get into that?
Watch TV.
Let me just set it up for the people listening because they didn't hear the preface. The preface is when you look at the NFC right now, it immediately looks very daunting for the Cowboys to even make a push into the playoffs because I think there's been some talk like, can the Cowboys get on a run? The issue is right now there are 6 teams that are way out ahead of the Cowboys. You've got Philly at 7-2, Seattle and the Rams both at 7-2. And by the way, Seattle and the Rams look really, really good. I mean, they look really, really good. And then you've got Detroit at 6-3, who we know is good. Chicago is playing good football, and they've already beaten the Cowboys. They're at 6-3 as well. San Francisco, I don't know how they're doing it. They didn't do it this last week against the Rams, but I don't know how they're doing it. But they're 6-4. You got to give them their credit. They're 6-4 right now. This is where it gets interesting. Green Bay is in that final playoff spot right now. They are 5-3-1, 2 games ahead of the Cowboys. Carolina is 5-5, a game and a half ahead. Minnesota 4-5. When you look at
you play Minnesota too,
right, and you play Minnesota. When you look at how this lays out, Dallas actually could get back into the playoff hunt, but a lot of things have to happen right for them. Number one, they got to get on a consistent run because that's not been their MO this year. They might win one here, but then they'll lose a game or lose
Mike
2
McCarthy
games.
used to get them on some runs,
They got to get on a run. And I think, but if they can get on a run, then my question for you guys is there a chance, do you think, in your minds, do you think they can get on the kind of run, and what would it require as far as the second half of the year? What kind of record are they going to have to put together in order to make a legitimate shot at making the playoffs?
I think these next – so let's just say, and we can't just say, but let's just say they beat the Raiders. Please, y'all, I'm begging, please, just to make this
don't lose to the Raiders.
Just to make this exercise make sense.
Can't wait for that Monday show.
Because if not, man, we getting ready for draft show, man.
They have to beat the Raiders.
They have to. But let's just say that they beat the Raiders, and then you got this stretch. You know what I'm saying? If you get 2 wins out of that 3, 2 wins out of those 3 teams, I feel like you have a shot.
Now, those 3, for those that may not know, that's Philadelphia at home, that's Kansas City at home, that's Detroit on the road.
I feel good about Philly. Dak just know he keeps us in those games. We'll have to see. But the rest of the way, you have to go on a run. You have to take care of business there. I think the one thing that's low-key interesting for the Cowboys is if you can match the number of wins with a team that's in the postseason already, the tie puts you ahead of them.
Yeah.
That's what I learned looking at the records.
Oh, no, yeah.
Because I was just looking at, because I was getting ready for draft, right? And I was like, damn, Tankathon,
yeah.
if you a 3-win team, you either the 7th overall pick or you the 14th.
Right.
But the tie puts us ahead of all the teams that got 3 wins.
Right.
So if it come down to a situation where we get the 9 and maybe the last team has 9 wins, you automatically better than them because y'all got the same number of wins, but you got less losses than them. Mm-hmm. So that could propel you to the front.
But it also goes both ways. It could also be that team has half a win more than you, right? So it can go both ways.
So if you have 9 wins, you'll never be better than the 10-win teams. And I don't foresee, it happened 2 years ago, but I don't foresee the Eagles just imploding at the end of the season and you just win the division and you take
right. I mean, they're 7-2. My thought is the likelihood is not right now that you're going to win the division, even if you beat Philly in this game.
Where are you getting these 9 wins from?
Just in my mind. Just
9 wins means they have to go 6-2 down the stretch.
Just count in my mind. So
I know what it means. Thank you, Derek. But my point is
well, he's making the claim he thinks the best case scenario is they go 6-2 down the stretch. Is
Derek,
that what
I think she's asking who?
Derek basically asked the path to get there.
Right.
First thing you got to do is beat the Raiders, and even it'll be beneficial to you over that next 3 games with those top tier winning teams to at least win 2 of those games. You can lose 2; it'll be tight, but win 2 of those games, and then maybe you have wiggle room to mess around towards the end of the season.
Because you do have the Chargers who are playing good football.
The Chargers are playing fantastic football, but the Washington football Wizards, the Giants, the next time, if you can overcome the Lions, Chiefs, and Eagles, you ain't worried about the Wizards and the damn Giants. You know what I'm saying? So that's what them 9 wins.
You might want to worry about them though. The way Bryan,
Dayball got fired. They better not.
Yeah, the Giants lost their coach. You would hope you don't lose that game at the end of the season. So you would hope.
So I think that's your path into this thing. And like we were saying,
very
off air,
cowboy-like.
You're
right. You get to that final game and everything's lined up, and
you get towed up.
I really thought that the game against the Commanders on Christmas Day was going to be for a playoff spot when the first season.
Yeah.
I
did
thought
too.
It
I did
thought
too.
it was.
I did too.
It's over with for them people, even to hell. But to you all's point, we were off air and we were saying this. It was probably Ambar with the negativity or something like that. Even if you do, the Cowboys make it to the postseason, can you play with those teams? And at that point, I think you're good enough on offense to where you can win a matchup with some of these guys. I think a Bronco-level defense take away what your superpower is. But now you look at the teams that are probably going to be postseason teams. Who got a defense like that? Seattle got a defense like that. So I hope you stay away from them.
Their defense is good.
I would say the Rams too. But if you run into
the Rams, I think the Rams are more balanced.
They're a little more balanced.
But Seattle, their defense is
Aiden Dirty boy, just former Cowboy Hall of Fame
It's
legend.
nasty right now.
Ring of Honor, Hayden Dirty tearing it up over there. But I think there are some matchups you can get into on the back end of this thing where you'll be straight, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
You'll be fine.
Who do you think is going to be the number 1 seed if you had to project right now?
If it's the Eagles or something like that, like you just win all your games, and the Eagles are the number 1 team, and you the last team in, I feel good about round 1.
Can I change that question? Who's the best team? Between those three, who's the best team? Philly, Seattle, Rams.
I think the Rams.
The Rams are better.
Yeah. So what that means is, though, then you would have to, if you're the last team in, now who do you think the second best team is? Because that would be your next. That would be because your Rams will get the bye. And then who do you think the second best team is? You're probably going to have to go to – do you think it's Philly?
Well, here's my thing, Brian. I don't think – even though I agree with you, I think the Rams might be the best team of those three. I don't ultimately think that they have the best shot of getting the first seed.
Okay,
I think Philly has the best shot of
once
getting
again,
the best seed.
Okay, so you're going to say Philly.
I say Philly has the best shot of getting the best
So then in all likelihood, you're going to probably have to go to SoFi Stadium and win a game against the Rams.
If you get to the playoffs, yeah.
I'll take that fight.
Yeah. Who's the team you absolutely don't want to play right now?
Seattle.
Over the Rams?
I don't want to play Seattle.
Yeah, I think I'd rather play the Rams than Seattle.
I think we saw with the Rams and the workouts we did with them.
So they've been beating us in training camp.
Hey, but you know,
Amber ain't lying about that.
Here's the thing, Ryan. The one thing
and that was just training camp practices, man.
The one thing I look at with the Rams though is like the Rams
play offense and defense,
but the Rams are also an injury away from being hard to
Derek got the mission.
Yeah,
Derek brought in.
No, but think about it.
Be careful of wishing injury on anybody.
No, I'm not.
I got death threats.
You did.
I got death threats.
Somebody threaten you on this show?
Death threats.
But we have seen Puka Nacua go down a lot. Like he will have some injuries.
Yeah.
And that's the part where I'm like, at least you have that. Like those two teams, I think it's hard to see unless his defense makes a lot of changes. Yeah. It's hard to see Dallas matching up well with Seattle or the Rams. But if the defense starts to come on, then maybe you feel a little bit better about that. Right now, though, that's why I wouldn't want to face either one of those teams right now because I just think it's where the defense is right now. If the Cardinals can put up points on this defense, those two teams would just have a track.
What you would hope for is that if Seattle is the number 2 team, the Rams in that division, so they'll be a wild card team. You would hope that they would knock them off or something like that, and then you will get it sound like easy, sound crazy saying that, but then you would have a Rams matchup. I don't want to see Seattle at all.
How do you feel about Detroit? And you'll see them here in a few weeks. How do you feel about playing Detroit?
Detroit's a little compromised right now with injuries. They're a little compromised. That's one where I would be interested to see what does their offensive line look like by the time they get to the playoffs. When the Cowboys play them, I think of the 3 games they have, I think Detroit's probably the least likely Dallas wins of those 3 games. I think Dallas has the best chance of beating Philly. I think they have a better chance of beating Kansas City than they do beating Detroit.
Short week.
I think Detroit's going to be a hard game for them to win on a following Thursday on the road. Yeah. I just think that's going to be a really, really tough. A good team like that quality team as well.
I think the Cowboys' passing game gives you a better shot versus the Lions than some of these other squads. Some of these other squads, it's hard to throw the ball against those guys. I think if you could block the Lions up just a little bit, I think you could throw it on them. And that's really all you need because I always talk about matchups, common opponents, and things like that. Green Bay's pass rush is like ridiculous. And they got after you a little bit, but you were able to throw on them if you could just not flop around.
But here's the problem. But here's the problem, though. Here's the problem, though. For Detroit, that is probably the most balanced offense Dallas will have faced all season.
You ain't wrong. Yeah, they're gonna put
this
up. Yeah.
So when you start talking about it from that standpoint, now we're back to that first conversation we had today. Your offense got to be perfect.
Yeah.
Because even a good defense, we've seen Detroit put up points against them.
Yeah.
So that's the part where I'm just like, that's a hard matchup for me to see the Cowboys winning. But I do think those other 2 games, I could see a path to that. I've seen Mahomes this year be a little more normal.
Sure.
There have been games where he wasn't Super Mahomes. He was normal, and you might be able to match him that day. I don't know.
As long as the Cowboys can score.
Yeah, right.
Because I just feel like the Cowboys defense just going to be giving them points. In my mind, that's just who they
against
are.
all 3 of these
against
teams?
all these people. But as long as you can score, and I look at Detroit's defense, not that they're bad, but I think that you can score. Because I just think the Cowboys' offense is that good. You know what I mean? But some of these people just looking unwhoopable right now, and that's Seattle. But we ain't got to run.
Well, I mean, you've also had your offense scoring against worse teams, and what was the outcome?
What do you mean?
You're hoping or trying to hang on to this idea of as long as the Cowboys can score, which sounds great, and I agree. You want the offense to score, but at the same time, you've seen plenty of games where they can be putting up points, and it still comes out with the loss. That's
why Overshown got to come be Superman, and it's not fair. It ain't fair to him at all. But if you just look at, and this is me being optimistic, Derek Eagleton optimistic. We were saying this prior.
You came up today. You're very optimistic.
I'm a homer every day, but
I see that.
I just think Quinnen Williams is going to do so much. You finally got somebody that could tear it up in the middle. I think Overshown. First of all, just I don't want to say about them people, man, but just you getting better at linebacker. I think it's going to be massive. I went back
and Overshown, in my opinion, Overshown ain't even the story there. It's Logan Wilson. Logan Wilson is the reason that you're going to be able to see less of some of the linebackers that have played to this point where there have been so many problems. That, to me, is the difference. And if whatever you can get out of Overshown and start to bring him along, that all helps. But getting Logan Wilson out there, I'm putting a lot on Logan Wilson. I'm probably putting more on him than I'm putting on Overshown.
I looked at his numbers.
I mean, they're going to get way better at linebacker, and I think with the defensive line now, good luck to the secondary. What's happening?
That's your question, yeah.
I looked at his numbers last year, Overshown. In 13 games, it was like 90 tackles, 5 sacks, and 8 stuffs or something, 4 pass deflections. I'm like, man, we could use all that right now. And an interception for a damn touchdown. We could use all that right now.
What?
Go to break.
Amber,
want to go to break?
Home.
Yeah, it's time to
You
go
sure?
to break.
All right, you ready to get to lunch, aren't you? You
Go
want
to
some coffee,
break.
bad. You just fiending for some coffee
I'm
right
hungry.
now.
Go to break.
All right, we're gonna
What
take
y'all
our
think
final
about?
break. Take our final break. We'll be back. DallasCowboys.com radio.
Every day begins with a promise to work hard and to build a future. That's why we're here, providing the tools, expertise, and John Deere equipment you have relied on for generations to help you get the job done right. We're with you. That's our promise to you, because no matter the project or the challenge you're facing,
we're with you. We're united.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the Playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP.
I'm home. Hey, Mom. Before you ask, I've done my homework and the dishwasher's unloaded.
Nice. Hey, can you... Hey, hon, yes, I've got the finale ready to play. Here's your wine.
Wow. Isn't it nice not having to ask? We think so. That's why if there's a network interruption, AT&T will proactively credit you for a full day of service, guaranteed. Credit for fiber downtime lasting 20 minutes or more, or for wireless downtime lasting 60 minutes or more caused by a single incident impacting 10 or more towers. Restrictions and exclusions apply. See att.com/guarantee for details.
From the field to the festivities, Lucchese embodies the essence of luxury and tradition. Handcrafted with meticulous precision, each pair offers unmatched comfort and style. Stand tall while you're tailgating or cheering in the stands with the Dallas Cowboys collection by Lucchese. Shop the collection today at the Lucchese store at the Star in Frisco or online at lucchese.com. Lucchese, the official boot of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders.
How's it going? You see that Cowboys game?
Oh, I watched. Been seeing some good things.
Totally. They have some talent.
Yup, some great talent.
And they got some fight.
Hoping this is the year.
Me too. Oh, I'm Cody, by the way.
I'm Travis.
Nice to meet you, Travis. Go Cowboys.
Go Cowboys!
Make a new friend based solely on their shirt choice. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys. Copyright 2025 Bank of America Corporation.
Back to the break.
AT&T connecting changes everything.
Welcome back. It is the final segment of the break, live from the SWBC Mortgage Studios at the Star. Here's what we're going to do in the final segment. Let's do a little self-scouting. I'm going to do across the hall scouting. What we're going to do is we're going to talk about 3 problems that the Cowboys have had, significant problems that the Cowboys have had through the first half of the season. And I'm going to go around the table, and I want each of you to give me, if you were the person in charge making the decision, what would be the one solution that you would work on with this team in order to improve this area. Let's start first with rush defense. They have been a team that has given up a lot of rushing yards this year. We've seen a lot of challenges, even with the addition of Kenny Clark. What would be the one thing that you would think should be the solution for them to solve the rushing defense problems? Bryan, let's start with you on this one.
Well, I think that, to me, that they're going to try. And, by the moves that they made with, when you look at going and getting a guy like Quinnen Williams, I think he helps you really on both levels, but especially he'll help you with the run stuffs. He's a guy that will be that player that takes on the blocks. I mean, these linebackers, it's been a big, big problem. It's not because of linemen getting up on these linebackers. These linebackers will overrun plays. They will be out of position. They won't read fast enough. I mean, we could talk about eating up blocks and all that stuff like we like to do, and you're like, oh, he'll help this and that and the other. Voch was talking about linebackers with instincts, linebackers that play downhill, linebackers that tackle well, linebackers that don't hesitate. You're going to try and do that. A guy like Overshown, he'll play aggressively. With Wilson, play aggressively. And you talk about Quinnen Williams, the way he plays. Keep Kenny Clark in there. Maybe now Kenny Clark doesn't face as many double teams. So your run defense, and you're getting Clowney playing better on the edge as well as Araku, some negative plays there. So I think the thing is I've tried to get better up the middle. And I think in 2 spots I have. The tackle spot, the linebacker spot. I'm still not trusting what's going on at safety, but that's what's going to have to be for this run defense. It's going to have to be what happens in that middle and what happens at that linebacker. And I think they've helped themselves that way.
AG, let's go to you.
The original question was about
solve the run defense.
She in the chat, man, just talking.
Solve the run defense.
She don't know what the hell.
She's probably talking crazy about me.
She don't know what we talking about.
Snitching.
She don't know what the hell we talking about.
Snitches get stitches.
Oh, wow. You know how I knew you were doing that? Because you were over there doing this and you were smiling. And so I was like, she in the chat. And she over there talking to the people.
Oh, crazy
right.
over.
But I know
how do you solve the rush defense?
Answer the question. Just answer the question.
Run defense. Is that what you're
yes.
talking
No,
about?
just go. Real fast, go.
Run defense. How do they?
How do you solve it? How do you solve it? How do you solve it?
Shut up.
She wasn't in class, paying attention.
You are so annoying.
She don't know what the hell going on.
Oh my god.
You want me to answer the question there?
Sure. Let's start with Amber. I want Amber to go first.
Because you know I'm gonna take all the talking for. Oh yeah, you're right. Go ahead.
I mean, Bryan's explanation was
I got more.
Splendid.
I got more.
I agree with everything that Bryan said. It was so great. I agree with the linebacker. I mean, you're going to get some support from the middle
what
right
about it,
there.
What do you say? What about the linebacker? What do you say? Like, exactly which part of what he said did you like?
Quit talking.
Because you're in the chat.
Quit talking.
Derek, what I would do, what changes I would make if I was in charge of trying to fix the run defense right now, Derek, I think you need to lock down the rotation at edges, right? It's a lot of moving pieces over there. I know Coach Whitecotton wants to rotate guys to keep guys fresh and all this kind of stuff. I don't think you have the luxury of doing that. I think some players are much better run defending players than others. Some guys. You're better run defending players. Yeah. I think Donovan Ezaraku has definitely stepped up and shined as a run guy. And Clowney, he looked like an old man early, didn't have a camp. That makes a little bit of sense, but he's definitely come in and locked it down. Fowler, Sam, I'll hold y'all for the pass rush stuff. Maybe when those guys need a bit of a break, but I think just locking down the rotation at edge. But also,
where does Houston fall in that?
James Houston?
Sorry. Yeah.
Man, I think, I got to see. It's been a couple weeks. I got to see how the coaches view him. I think he's one of those guys now. You know what I'm saying? Like kind of like we're at with Louisville. I don't think Louisville plays bad, but the coaches may view him a certain kind of way. I want to see how they view James. But James is definitely a guy. If you need a break, go in and play a little bit. I don't think James's run defense is hurting you in a way that some others are. But I would hold him for like pass.
I think he's playing better than Williams and playing better than Fowler. If you're talking about run defense stuff.
Yeah, for sure. And one more thing too. Coach Whitecotton said something interesting. It was that last coach availability thing that they did over there on the field with Quinnen. But he was like, these tackles are going to look different depending on the pair that it is, right? Mm-hmm. Quinnen is going to be different when he's next to Osa versus when he's different, next to Clark. So we talking about run D stuff. We kind of hinted at this yesterday on yesterday's show, Derek. But I think your best run defending configuration is Quinnen Williams, Kenny Clark, with Donovan Ezeraku on the outside and Clowney. Now, if you want to mess around the
play 5-man line,
I do too. I think it's 5-man. Give 5 and then have Overshown and Wilson back at linebacker.
Sure.
I would prefer that.
Definitely. But that is something that we have to think about moving forward. Go ahead, Amber.
What I'm excited for is with Williams coming in, how he can bring back hopefully the best out of Kenny Clark, which we saw glimpses of it at the beginning, and then that slowly or quickly started disappearing. But I think the combination of those two, they're going to just elevate each other's game. So I'm really, really excited, looking forward to them too, especially in the going back to that, stopping the run defense there. And with the linebacker position, you guys already talked about that. You can only improve from there, from what you've been having to now. So I think that combination there, it's going to hopefully put a stop somehow, or not at least have opposing teams running all over you that you just have no chance. This is going to make a better battle for them.
I think one of the interesting things is we've seen a lot of, for Kenny Clark and for Osa, teams deciding, hey, we're just going to double those guys and we will dig them out of a hole and create space for our runner. They can't do that anymore. Quinnen Williams makes you have to double him, and he will still beat a double team. That's the interesting part. He's going to force you to double him, and he'll still beat the double team, which is going to mean now Kenny Clark, Osa, they're all going to now be facing one guy. And the question is, I don't think those guys get moved around. Certainly Kenny Clark, I don't see him getting moved around by one guy. And I think that's where it makes such a huge difference having Quinnen Williams in this lineup. Because if all those other guys now have one guy to beat, I think you're going to be able to see the value of them playing aggressive style of defense where you're taking your gap and you're getting upfield and you're going to start to see more tackles for losses. I think that's going to be the biggest difference in this run game.
Williams, he's a big guy. Like, I see him on TV and stuff, but then seeing him in person, you're like, wow, he is so big. So again,
and not nasty big. Like, he's a big dude.
You can tell he has power.
Yeah,
there.
no doubt about it.
That's another thing that is exciting to have. And I can't wait. And I hope you're right that they beat the Raiders so that we move on and come back to that stretch with some excitement there and hope, because if they don't,
hey, real quick before we end the show, because I'm not going to get to these other self-scouting things.
I got a question too.
But let me ask this question.
It's a good question.
How do you think that, or better yet, at what point, if Dallas wins and continues to win, at what point do you start to believe?
I'm dead inside with
So,
defense, man.
No, what I mean is, okay, they beat the Raiders. I don't think any of us necessarily like, okay, things have changed. They beat Philly. Does it change for you? They beat Kansas City. Does it change for you? Beat Detroit. At what point? No, I'm saying.
I got you.
No, I'm saying. At what point do you get to a point where you like, no, this team is for real. They are different than what they were in the first half.
It depends on how the defense plays. If you win those games 45-42, then you just gonna play against Minnesota and win that game 45-42. But if you hold the Chiefs, Eagles, Lions to like 20 points and you do your 40, we can talk then. Or you holding the 15 as a single score?
15.
I'm being excited. If you hold those guys down, it depends on the defense playing. If the defense goes crazy, totally different conversation.
Broaddus, what about you? Where do you start believing?
You beat,
and it's not hope anymore.
Beat Kansas City.
Okay.
Win the next 3 games, and then, and I'll take my chances in Detroit. I'm not feeling like it's great, but, we talked about being 6-2. You got to find a way to win these next 3 games. You really, really do, and then take your chances in Detroit.
All right, that's a wrap. We'll be back.
Oh, you
tomorrow.
don't care about my opinion?
No. I thought you already said it. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Because Voch interrupted. Like
I'm sorry.
Always.
I thought you were in the chat. Sorry.
Wow.
That's ain't gonna rub nothing.
I will say. Kansas City, for sure. But if they do beat Philly, it depends how they beat. If it was like, close, very close, and then
how you do that again?
Win is a win. But we're talking about believing.
6-7. No, I believe you beat Philly and you beat Kansas City.
For me, if you come out there looking a lot more dominant against the Philadelphia Eagles, I'm giving you my ring size.
You just said the same thing. Hey, don't say that, man.
Wow.
I say that all the time.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I say that all.
Yeah, for your championship ring. Yeah. Because we all gonna get. We don't get championship rings. Super Bowl.
You don't get championship.
Oh boy. You're gonna see him on the floor crying.
As you told me, you don't work here.
Let's say he always says, "I don't work here."
Yeah, I don't work here.
Or now he works here. Huh?
All right, we appreciate you joining us. We'll be back tomorrow. Till then, for Voch, Lombardi, Bryan, Broaddus, Ambar Garcia, I'm Derek Eagleton. This has been The Break live on DallasCowboys.com radio.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!